I am Shanna Pizer at Coach Shanapy, and I am going live for the fourth day in a row. I have promised myself I was going to go live um, every day this week instead of doing reels in the morning. And here I am. I made a decision ahead of time and I am sticking to it. I am proud of myself. And um, yeah, I want to encourage you to make decisions ahead of time. And I have talked all this week about decisions ahead of time, what the benefits are, and how to do it. And today I want to talk about, and I think I've mentioned it earlier in the week, when you make a decision ahead of time, know that when it comes time to follow through, to honor that decision that you made, you are probably not going to want to follow through on whatever it is. So I've used the example of eating cake or ice cream. I think mine was really ice cream because you have ice cream in your house more often than cake on usually. But when you sit down at night and the kids are in bed, you're done with your day, whether you have kids or not, you worked all day, you've done all the things, and you sit down and you just want to relax. And you're like, what's in the pantry? What's in the freezer? What can I eat that's going to help me relax? What's going to comfort me and make me feel better? And I deserve it because I've worked so hard today and all of those things. When we decide ahead of time, I am choosing not to have cake or ice cream or chips or even popcorn, whatever it is. I don't want to do that thing at whatever time anymore. I am deciding ahead of time. I'm going to have tea when I sit down on the couch at night to watch TV. I am deciding ahead of time. I'm going to have tea, not anything to eat. And when you make that decision ahead of time, and again, it can be anything. This goes for anything in your life that you're working on, that you're trying to up level or improve. When you make that decision ahead of time, a super important aspect of that is to anticipate there's going to be friction when the time comes to follow through on it, when it comes time to honor that decision that you've made. So when you visualize yourself, make the decision, and then kind of visualize yourself going through and getting to that point where it's time to take the action, to honor that decision, to make the tea instead of scoop out the ice cream. It's so important to anticipate that in the moment you're still going to want the ice cream. You're still going to want the chips. And that's okay because that has been the habit that you have created. That has been your go-to. You have convinced yourself that you need ice cream at the end of the night or chips or whatever it is that you're working on. You've convinced yourself that you can't possibly get up any earlier. But when you decide ahead of time, part of making sure that you're successful to make it more likely that you're going to be successful, you have to anticipate that friction is going to come, that you are going to want to change the plan in the moment because, of course, you don't want to get out of your cozy bed 15 minutes early to journal. Of course, you don't want to have tea instead of delicious, whatever kind of ice cream you love. So anticipating that you're still going to want to do the thing that you've always done and think that through. How is that going to feel? How am I going to honor my decision? And it's so important when you get to that moment, when you're having that friction, when you are wanting, you're craving, you're having an urge for that ice cream or to stay in bed or whatever it is, that it's okay to feel that way and to just notice it, to notice, I really want that ice cream. And just allow yourself to want the ice cream and not make it mean that there's something wrong with you, that you're a horrible person, that you're never going to be able to succeed. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do this. Whatever it is, just allow that. Of course, I want the ice cream. Ice cream is delicious. It's what I've always done. It has been my go-to. I have the way that I talk about ice cream is like it's the best thing in all of the world. Of course, I want it. And just allow yourself to experience that want and notice it and kind of like notice how it feels. Notice the thoughts that are going through your mind as you're trying to convince yourself to have the ice cream or to stay in bed or whatever it is. Notice how it feels in your body. Notice that kind of like tightness, that like tenseness, whatever it is that you're feeling. Just like pay attention to that and notice it and kind of narrate it as you're going through it. I really want that. Isn't that interesting? And then you can still honor your decision. I absolutely want the ice cream. And if I decide tomorrow that I am going to have ice cream at 8 p.m., I can have ice cream. If I decide that I am going to have ice cream for breakfast, I can have ice cream for breakfast if I want. But right now, I'm going to honor my decision and I'm going to have the tea. And you want to imagine this ahead of time so that when the time comes, you're like, oh, that's right. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was coming. And my plan is to just notice it and to allow myself to experience that want or whatever it is. And I'm going to honor my decision. And just imagine how amazing that's going to feel when you honor your decision. If it's getting up a little bit earlier, you might feel a little bit tired, and that's okay. But you got up and you got the journaling done or the planning or the time to sit and decide what am I going to do today? Decide ahead of time. How am I going to work out today? Decide ahead of time. Am I going to have ice cream tonight or am I going to have tea? Just whatever it is that you're working on, you can always make a decision ahead of time how you want to show up. Anticipate the friction that is going to come, whatever your flavor of friction is, whatever it is that you're going to tell yourself, however it is that you're going to feel, anticipate that and know that it's normal and it's okay. And you're getting better at making decisions ahead of time. You're getting better at honoring those decisions, and you are working towards becoming the person that you want to be. This is all stuff we work on in the Commit to You group coaching community. I would love to have you join the community of Christian women that are working on doing this work, making decisions ahead of time to be the person that they want to be. And I need to go because I'm at 8 minutes again. I really wanted to keep these lives under 5 minutes, but alas, that is not to be. So have a great day. I would love to hear what decision ahead of time you are going to make and what's the friction that you just know is going to come up. I would love to hear it, and have an amazing day.